All right, everybody, welcome back. What a big day today we had. Some really great information out there. Pretty excited to go back over everything that happened today with everybody. We get the stream set up first, and then we're going to go. Hey, Colonel. Oh, you have seen 0 Warlock info. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go over it again. Hey, Schmeedley. Hey, Rem. Hey, Lolo. How's it going today? Hey, Star Knight. Oh my god, of course that happened. A lot. We're going to talk about a little bit of it right now. Hey, Simon, welcome back. Hey, Moon. You saw the video? Okay. Yeah. Pretty good. You saw which one, the live stream, or you saw um the video I posted? Got it. Okay. Yeah, it was pretty good today. I was pretty excited with it. It was very fun to watch it with everybody. Ingest stream contains multiple audio streams. Only contains one. Maybe it's when I go live. It fixes itself. Let me try. Maybe that's when YouTube fixes itself, is when I go to live stream. I have someone that's going, the same person that helped me set up sound is going to help me set up OBS. Yeah, very strange. So when I go to the live server, like my live scene, the stream catches back up on YouTube, but not when I'm in my starting stream. It's behind. So something with the starting stream is weird. Interesting. Okay. Yes. Yeah, it was pretty fun. So we got not only Warlock, Star Knight, let's go. 7 consecutive. Not only Warlock, but we also got Season 12. And, like I've been saying to everybody, Season 12 looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. For what it is as a very short season, it looks like it's more than enough. I need to test something out real quick. So you guys can hear this, right? You heard the alert? Okay. Do you still hear the alert? Okay, so you did hear it. Okay. So then... Wanders... Oh, wait, hold on, wait. If I do this here... Can you hear the alert now? No. Okay. All right. So then, can you hear?
Diablo 4 Season 12 is less than 2 weeks away.
Can you hear this now?
We all know Diablo 4 is all about speed, and that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video. We're going to cover the most efficient ways to get yourself from level 1 straight
really
to Torment 4, because we have a race coming up, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I ran into this issue earlier. I didn't know which of my new sound settings I needed to change in order to mute all the alerts. When do you think we're getting more news on the expansion pack? Closer to April, probably. Hi, Zareth. Okay, so then now you should be able to hear sound again, right? For alerts. Okay, perfect. Okay. I ran into the issue earlier, scrambling to try and figure out how to turn sound alerts off during the broadcast. And fortunately, all I had to do was just close down the program, Firebot. But I want to know actually how to turn it off, so I just wanted to mess with it a little bit. I gotta get my magic blanket out again to erase my desk. You guys seen the magic blanket? It's the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter. And then desk is now gone. Okay. All right, let's do it. We're going to do a recap of Season 12. So we got the recap for Season 12 today, and we now have the official name, which is Season of Slaughter. And we got a lot more information than what we had on the public test realm, because the public test realm, we didn't have all of it. So this is going to go live on March 11th, not on March 10th. Even though the reliquary said the 10th, this is actually March 11th at 10 a.m. Something that they did say is that we're able to actually download the patch for the season 2 days early. So it'll actually be live on the 9th of March at 10 a.m. to download the patch. You can't play it until the 11th, but you'll actually be able to get it done. You won't have to worry about, will I get this downloaded before the season goes live? So you'll have that also. There is a free trial of the Paladin happening as well. You can play up to level 25 if you haven't got to try it yet. This is only going to be happening this weekend, so make sure that you hop on and try it. They don't have the dates in here, but it is really, really good opportunity to get to play this really, really fun class. We're going to watch the trailer for the gameplay trailer for the Season of Slaughter, because there's some really good surprises in there. So I'm going to pop this open and we'll take a look at it.
Something's wrong. What's happening? You can smell it. Yes. Fresh meat.
March 11th. So there's a lot more to go over here. So a lot of stuff that we got to see in there. You get to become the butcher in the season. It's not a permanent thing. You go up to those shrines in Helltides. There's going to be some new items that you can use to help summon them, which we'll go over that a little bit. But this is kind of what we're going to be getting here. Kill streaks, become the butcher. These are all of the butcher attacks that you can do. Then your reliquary here, and then the collab is going to be Doom. So that's the collab that we're going to be getting. So you can download it early, March 9th, 10 a.m. for Battle.net, Xbox and PlayStation. If you play on Steam, I think you're out of luck. So become the butcher here. For the first time in Diablo history, assume the form of the iconic adversary, the butcher. So you'll be able to go to these shrines here, and you'll find these seasonal items that allow you to activate those shrines in Helltides. Everybody inside of that shrine look like they turn into the butcher, and then you fight through this activity that they're doing, and you're going to kill monsters and kill monsters and kill monsters. I'm assuming it's going to give reputation, and they also talked about, and I saw it in the trailer from the live stream, there is a bloodied item vendor, which wasn't in the PTR. I was worried about the grind for bloodied items, but if they have a vendor, way better. So here's the seasonal quest line to become the butcher. So Grisly Metamorphosis here. There's several ways to become the King of Slaughter. Earn meaty offerings, a new consumable item in which you can use on the Shrines of Slaughter, which is going to be right here. New event in Helltides. Activating those gory shrines draws enemies in Helltides to your location, and then you can kill them to feed your gory rewards. Fields of Hatred. This is cool because they're bringing in a PvP-oriented event. I haven't seen this as far as I can remember they've ever done anything like this. It's very fitting for the season theme. It's optional. You don't have to do it if PvP is not something that you enjoy. But in the Fields of Hatred, which is the PvP zone, you get to activate this Ceremony of Slaughter. You're going to basically just kill people. You kill each other inside of this. And when it ends, when it is concluded, the Butcher's Idol will raise, and the fiercest contender, you can take and become the Butcher and turn the entire area into your personal killing ground. So I believe you basically become unkillable if you win and you get to do this event here. So you can run around in the Fields of Hatred and just kill everyone. The damage is probably going to be pretty crazy. You get the iconic chains from the Butcher that pulls everything into you, except instead of one chain, there's just a bunch of them. So it's cool to see them just branch outside of something that they do. Even if you don't like PvP, it's cool that this was something that they decided to revisit, because it is an aspect of the game that really doesn't get touched all too much. So having something in here where they just bring something back and do this, I think is a very cool concept. The Slaughterhouse arrives in another way to transform you into the Butcher. Read on to discern the grisly connotations. So unleash your rage with kill streaks. They did make some pretty good changes to kill streaks and how they're going to be working. So I'm pretty excited to see how it feels. But what they did change based off the PTR is that a pop-up will indicate the amount of a seasonal reputation and experience that you gained during the kill streak. So when the timer bar finally depletes, and how this works, it starts at 15 kills. You are going to build up all the way to 1,000 kills for the final rank. You don't have to worry about killing monsters. Your kill streak will stay there active as long as you're dealing damage to a monster. You can be applying damage over time. You can do direct damage to them, but as long as you're damaging a monster, your kill streak will not go away. So it's going to change around the way that you play. You're going to train monsters to other monsters. You're going to maybe go attack a monster that you normally wouldn't have attacked because you're like, I got to keep my kill streak going. And they buffed all of the kill streaks as well. So Rain Crimson with bloodied items here. This is one of the chain abilities from the kill streak awards. You get enough kills and it sends chains out, and look at all the chains. It grabs all of the monsters around you. Every single one of them, chains go out, and anybody can have this. So anybody can have a pull. And I believe it's every 20 kills or something like that, where it's going to shoot chains out, pull everything to you. So So this is a pretty cool affix that they're going to be adding in. And that was already there, but now we'll actually get to use it in a much different way because they're going to be doing it. So based on the PTR feedback, we made several adjustments to bring bloodied items more in line with the power of the Chaos Armor from the Season of the Infernal Chaos and the Sanctification bonuses, which is what I've been saying. Even if something feels a little bit underwhelming, they listen to the feedback. That's what the PTR is for. They buff it up a little bit. So it feels like a seasonal mechanic. So what they did is that they're going to be adding 3% increase to your main stat as an option, and that's per kill streak tier. So it seems like you probably will be able to, if you find the right gear, get about 75% increase to your main stat, which is a multiplier to your skills. So it could do some pretty insane damage. So we'll see how it feels when we get into it. The bloodied sigils here, these are very cool. Right now we're currently playing in Torment 4. Torment 5 was teased in the expansion pack. Good news is we're going to get to play Torment 5 in Season 12. Not exclusively, because we won't actually be able to unlock Torment 5, but the new sigils in Nightmare Dungeons, Infernal Hordes, and Boss Lair keys will be the equivalent level of Torment 5. Thank you. So Torment 5 is about pit 70 if we're going based on their pit scaling. So with the pit scaling here, bosses are already about a pit tier above, which means that you're going to basically be able and need to be strong enough to clear pit 85 in order to kill one of the new key bosses. Now, those bosses are not farmable. You have to find the key in order to get into that dungeon, and it's a one-time use. It's not like you go into this tier 6, which is what it's going to feel like, tier 6 dungeon, and you can just sit there farming the bosses over and over again. Bosses in Torment 4 will be completely normal, but you will have to find the keys in order to fight in Torment 6, which will be the lair bosses, and Torment 5 for the Infernal Hordes and for the Nightmare Dungeons. So that was some of the stuff that they're doing here. When playing in Bloodied activities, enemies' health bar will now display the level of difference between their current level and how difficult they are in the Bloodied content. So you're going to get to actually visually see that. Here's the Bloody Sigils. This wasn't on the PTR. They're going to have a new lair boss, the Relentless Butcher. And the best part about that, he's here to stay. He's going to be in the Eternal Realm, and he's going to be in the Seasonal Realm. And when the season's over, he's not going anywhere. So the Bloodied Butcher is now going to be a brand new lair boss that's coming in Season 12. So your Blood-Soaked Sigils here. We have the new items here. They didn't really make any changes here to the items. So we're not going to really see much difference coming out of that. And then this is where you can play the Paladin. And then we also have the Doom collab here where we can see you get a whole bunch of stuff. This is all free right here. They expanded the free reliquary. As far as I know, this is the free one. They said that they're going to be expanding it a lot, which is a really nice change. Big free reliquary. I think all of this stuff here is going to be free. And then there's obviously going to be purchasable stuff that you can get after if you want the full Doom look. So starting March 11th at 10 a.m., you're going to cut down elite and champion monsters in the dark to earn Dark Age currency, and you're going to carve your path through Doom. Claim all of the rewards to unlock the Forsaken Gates town portal. So these are all going to be gotten just by killing elites and killing the champion monsters. Once you have gotten all of these, and they're for free, you get this portal here. So we're going to be collecting free ones also. So you're going to have to log on the 11th, on the 13th, and the 15th to get them here. This one right here is probably the one I'm going to be rocking since we're going to be on a barbarian. And man, look at that thing. It's pretty darn cool. So that's probably going to be one of the purchasable ones if you wanted to. And then we have your rewards through the seasonal rank. As long as you clear rank 5, you'll be able to earn Bloody Billy. So Bloody Billy is the new thing right there, is the new pet that we got. So I'm pretty excited to get into this here. Seasonal of Slaughter, Seasonal Blessings here. So these are going to be the ones where you put your urns into. The Urn of Butchery, increase rate of seasonal reputations earned from all sources. Urn of Slaughter, boost the chance of finding additional slaughterhouse keys. And then your Bloodied keys boost the chance of finding additional bloody activity keys. Your Urn of Meat, love that one, boost the amount of fresh meat drops from all sources. Urn of Glyphs, grant a chance to earn glyph upgrades when improving glyphs. That's actually always really, really nice to have that. So then we got some Twitch drops that are going to be starting also to prepare for season here. So connect your account here. Starting on March 11th, all the way straight through the 25th, you're going to be able to earn the bow here. And then we have the reliquary system here. We have the deluxe battle pass. That's going to be the same here. And then you can check all of your guides out on all of these, but definitely go check out Mobalytics. And let's take a look real quick at the patch notes so you can see some of the differences that they're going to be adding on. We're not going to cover the whole patch notes because we already did a video on the PTR patch notes, but I'm just going to go over what's changing. There's not a ton that's changing coming out of it, but all of the killstreak rewards are changing. And part of what they said in the live stream today was that they have gone through and they have fixed all of the loading times in the game. They're all faster. They are actually going to be opening doors now unless it is linked to a specific quest or mechanic or something. Every single door is going to automatically open as you run up to it. So you don't have to worry about opening doors anymore. I think people have asked for this for a little while. Some people won't be too happy about that, but can't make everybody happy. Kill streaks will no longer reset when you're going between floors in the dungeon. So that's going to be really cool. So now you don't have to worry too much about your kill streaks ending when they go down a tier. But I do hope that it is affected inside of the Infernal Hordes. So hopefully when the run ends or when the wave ends, it stops. We'll have to see. Every single one of the kill streaks has been buffed. All of them, which is honestly very, very cool to see. I'm really glad that they did this because I thought that they needed a little bit more punchy. Now they didn't add any. I was hoping they were going to add something in. We didn't see that. But the attack speed went from 6 to 8%. The cooldown reduction went up all the way up to 6%. Now, you take all of these and multiply them by 5. That's how much you're going to get. So you're going to get 30% cooldown reduction just by having one maxed affix. And I think this is base. So then you get 1.5 times that if you get a greater affix on it. And then if you masterwork into it, you're looking at like 5% times 5. So, well, if we went, that would be what? Actually, even more, because I did that on the 3 here. So 11 times 5 is probably about 50 to 55% increased cooldown reduction just off of one affix if you get your maximum kill streak. So that's really impactful. Then you'd add in the resource cost reduction, 50% plus resource cost reduction. The classes are going to soar. It's going to be really easy to get builds online because you get more critical strike chance, you get more attack speed, you get more cooldown reduction. So you basically can kind of play with items that you normally wouldn't be able to use because you can solve all of the issues just by using the kill streaks. And the kill streaks can be on unique items, they can be on mythic items, they can be on legendary items. So this is a really good change that I like to see. They also added in all classes can now encounter a bloody affix that increases their primary core stat by 3% per kill streak tier. This affix can appear on bloodied items at least 750 power or more. So there were a couple changes to the Necromancer. They added in a couple buffs here, mostly to overpower here. After overpowering, you're going to deal increased physical damage. So a lot of this is probably for the blood Necromancers that they're going to be doing. They did remove Incense of Vitality, and I think that they removed that because of the increase here for your maximum life. You have up to 15% increased maximum life per affix, and you have that times 5. So you're looking at 75% increase to your maximum life. So I think they were removing some of the options to increase that life so it doesn't get too crazy. And then there were a couple bug fixes here. Nothing really happened. The Paladin did not get nerfed, so Paladin is probably still going to be the strongest choice here for you. And then everything else from the PTR looks like it just stays exactly the same. So they fixed some issues with Falling Star dealing damage, but Paladins aren't getting nerfed any further. This was more Paladin fixes. Fix an issue with Oaths. All of the other classes stayed exactly the same. There were a couple changes to some of the uniques here, but I really don't see much. There was a mythic item that's getting adjusted. So we got two things we want to talk about. First, we're going to talk about the Crown of Lucian here. This is getting a massive buff. So I don't know if there's going to be much else that is going to be used in the helmet slot other than this here. This went from stacks from 5 to 7%. So that's already an extra 30% increase to your damage just by going from 5 to 7. Now you're going to have an increased resource cost, but you're going to have bloodied items with resource cost reduction on them. So it solves all of the increased resource costs that you're going to get from adding those extra stacks, but it's also going to give you more damage. So I really think that this right here is now going to be the meta for helmets across the board. Because you can solve your resource issues through bloody items. You don't have to worry about the resource cost. You just get more damage. So I'm not sure what the thought process behind it was, but pretty crazy. The other ones had some decent changes. I still don't think they're going to be used much, but like the really good change to the Godslayer crown here. When you stun or freeze or immobilize elites, then it would activate, but then everything would go unstoppable because there's so much stuff going out, so much stun, so much crowd control, so much freeze, whatever it is. So this never really worked all the time. Now it's when you attempt to stun, freeze, or immobilize an enemy, now you're going to pull everything together and you're going to deal increased damage. Now the damage was reduced because it happens all the time now, but still a decent change if you're in the leveling process and you don't have the helmets that you want, you don't have a Crown of Lucian, then you can throw the Godslayer crown on and actually have it work all the time. Interesting change here to Andariel's Visage. They cannot figure out what they want to do with this helmet, but it's definitely pretty interesting how they changed it, and it might be really good for some classes. What they changed it to is that you have a 20% chance to trigger a Poison Nova, dealing 40% of the damage that you dealt over the last 5 seconds. So after 5 seconds, it seems like it's going to be a rolling 5 seconds, and it won't stop as long as you're still doing damage. So it's just going to give you 40% of the damage that you dealt, and you just have to trigger the lucky hit. So if you have a build that can trigger a ton of lucky hits at one time, you're going to be doing 40% of all of the damage that you did, the total damage that you've done, multiple times over, potentially. There is a chance for some builds that this might be really, really good. We're gonna find out as soon as the season goes live and see how it goes. But we should be able to hopefully max out attack speed. I don't know if there was a lucky hit chance for bloody items, which I think there might have been. So this could be really, really good. We'll have to see how it goes. And then the tower got some actually really, really good chain. They removed one of the tiles, which they were calling it tiles or tile something, but it was one, they removed a map. They're going to be adding on 5 new maps. Your best tower rank will always show at the top of the leaderboards now, so now you don't have to go search for yourself. You can actually just find it. Tower bosses deal significantly more damage. They want the tower fight, the boss fight, not to feel like an afterthought after fighting your way to get to the boss. The number of enemies defeated needed to complete the tower has been reduced, so you should be able to get some better clears and probably faster clears, so you can probably push a little bit higher. A new Jump to Me button has been added so that you can find your entry more easily, so that's pretty nice. An end run screen appears to summarize the key stats around your run. New tower bosses have been added. Treasure Goblin killed in the tower now drop better rewards. I didn't even know that there were any rewards dropped in the tower, so not sure what that was about. But it may be just for the progression to move to the tower ending. Here is some of the quality of life improvements that they had. All non-objective doors in Nightmare Dungeons now automatically open. So we just talked about that earlier, but there it is. Channeling times for repeatable actions, such as summoning town portals, have been reduced. So now they all max out at 0.5 seconds. That means you click on a town portal, and 0.5 seconds, you have now gone back to town. There's no more long loading times. That's actually really, really nice. Additionally, the threshold for damage taken before stopping a channeled action has been increased from 5% life to 20% life. So if you're channeling, it looks like you have to take 20% life damage to stop the channel. So that's actually pretty nice because now you can channel, and as long as you don't really take much damage, you can just teleport out, and the teleporting out is much faster. They made some changes to combat. The staggering mechanic for bosses has been updated. Bosses will now stagger approximately twice as fast, which you could see it on the PTR, and it was incredibly fast. And they removed, on the PTR, they removed the slow refresh of the stagger. You could stagger the bosses as many times as you want in the pits. It was all good and also bad because the bosses that you needed to spawn minions were staggered all the time and they didn't spawn any minions. So they actually did add in something to stop that. After the boss is staggered, you're going to gain a stagger resistance for 20 seconds. So you can only stagger once every 20 seconds, it seems like, which honestly is still pretty fast. And the stagger bar is very, very quick. While the resistance is active, the boss is 5 times harder to stagger. And then you also are going to gain a stagger threshold for each member of the party. They changed the way that leveling feels because legendary monster affixes can only appear in expert or higher. Unique can only appear in penitent or higher. And then the number of bosses in the Fell Encounter and the Infernal Hordes has been reduced before you get to the Torment tiers. New monster affixes has been added, the Sapper. This will drain your resources. So that's going to be very interesting. This right here is an amazing, super good, fantastic change. The following monster affixes have been removed from the pit. Shielded monsters are gone. Unstoppable monsters are also gone. Teleporting monsters are gone. So the developers notes, we've heard the feedback that players may opt to restart a run if they encounter these enemy affixes. We are opting to remove them from these activities. So they are gone. They're making visual fire effects a little bit easier to see. Minion monsters will now be a much more visually aware so that you can see where they are. Obdicite in the Infernal or in the Herodric strong rooms has now been significantly reduced. Kind of saw that coming. I do believe something is going to give us a lot of Obdicite though, because they increased the cap for Obdicite from 999,000 to 99 million. So I think something is going to give us a lot of Obdicite. I don't know what it is yet. Well, we have to find that out when we get in. And they reduced the experience for world bosses and for lair bosses. So it doesn't look like we're going to be leveling in lair bosses. And let's see here. Okay. It doesn't look like it's on here, but they're also going to be fixing the experience inside of the pit. Oh, right here. Fix an issue where clearing pit tiers didn't grant the expected amount of experience. So I think that this season that we're currently in season 11, where we were farming bosses, was kind of an anomaly. We were supposed to probably be doing the pits, and we ended up inside of boss lairs, which was a nice change for a little while, and it made it really, really easy. So it looks like that meta may be shifting, but who knows until we get in. There might be something that's better. The Infernal Butchers inside of the Bloodied Sigil keys was insane amount of XP. We'll see if that sticks around or if they change that, but there was nothing about it in the patch notes. So I'm super excited to see what happens, but they added a lot of content and they didn't even talk about it in this blog post here, but there is a new dungeon that's going to be coming with the season of the Butcher. And they didn't tell us anything about it other than a very, very short trailer. You're going to become the Butcher. There was a bunch of people standing around. and you charge in to start slaughtering. We have no idea what happens after that. Don't know if it's a dungeon, what the rewards are, what it's going to be, but there's a brand new dungeon event coming to season 12 as well. So for a very, very short season, which is we're going to have, it's almost half the time. This is going to be a really great filler to get us through to April. And I'm pretty excited that they added a whole bunch of stuff. And they added a lot more than I think a lot of people were going to expect out of just a season that was kind of bridge the gap between season 11 and the expansion pack coming out. So should be pretty fun to hop in, play as the Butcher, and then get all of this stuff up and running. So, but that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you share it with your friends. Thank you everybody for watching. All right. Sorry, everybody. I was recording that so I could post it. Just wanted to go over the notes for everybody. Orlando, thank you for the 21 months in a row. Craziness. Good morning, hello, and good afternoon, everybody. Sorry if I missed anything. I accidentally left up multi-chat there, which I had to turn off in the middle of it, and I'm doing real good tonight. What did everybody think of today? Anybody want to see some exclusive Warlock content that didn't get to see it earlier today? Hey, Ellie. Hey, Garden. Multipass. Corbin Dallas. Yeah, the internal cooldown is there still. Thank you. Wow, 20 whole months. Look at that. Thank you so much. Did you see that the bloody sigils? Wait, where did they say that, Veets? I missed that. Because that's way higher than Torment 5. Yeah, I know, it's not One Piece. What the heck? Okay, hold on. Bloodied. Bloodied. Oh, wait. Here? Unlock with Bloodied. Yep, season ends when the DLC drops. Below Bloodied sigils. Oh, right here. Okay. Blood-soaked sigils. For those who seek suffering the glory of measured, blood-soaked sigils are the truest test of strength. Scaled to be roughly closer to the difficulty of Pit Tier 100, blood-soaked sigils carry incredible challenge but remarkable rewards. Blood-soaked sigils rewards guarantee drop for multiple bloodied items. Pretty crazy. Pit Tier 100. That's like Torment 7. Yeah, that's like Torment 7 right there. It's going to be more than 40 days. It's what, 7 weeks? But okay, everybody ready for some stuff that they didn't release? This is the exclusive stuff. This is the stuff that they didn't show. This is the complete Warlock skill tree. I did not, JR, no. No, this is level 40. We only were able to play test level 40. We couldn't play anything at 70. Level 40 and level 15. So, but this is it right here. This is everything. And I'm going to finish the video tomorrow. I was cutting all of it up. I realized And Lothburger's in the chat here, and thank you, Loth, for this. Thank you for helping with the assist on some of the skills. I clearly didn't have a plan going into this because I had no idea what I was supposed to do, and I missed so many things. I missed some skill tree points. I stopped before I even got to the bottom of the skill tree and started doing something else, and then I went back to doing something else, and I did something else. No idea what I was doing. I'll have to be a little bit better prepared, but fortunately, we got a great Twitch team, and we all kind of came together and filled in the pieces. So here we go. The way that these skill trees work, this is the new skill tree that will be released. All of them. All of the classes will have skill trees like this. This is brand new. Nobody has this yet. And we'll go over how it works and the philosophy behind it. And there's a lot to it. It's much, much different than what we have right now. So this is your first, we'll just go over the basic skill right here. So this is a demonology skill, and it's lesser demon, and it's basic. Basic is still there. Yes, it will be changed. They talked about it a little bit in the Sanctuary sit down, but this is what the skill tree will look like. They may tweak like numbers and stuff. They said that they may change it not from 12 out of 12, but that number might change, but most of this will be probably locked on. Some of the names were like the same, so I think they're going to add new names and stuff in. But I don't know where that is, Stannis. All right, so here we go. This is a demonology skill, and it's lesser demon, and it's a basic skill. Then we move here. So let me just fix this so that's gone to the bottom there. So you get 2 modifiers on the top here. These are going to be picked based on what you need for the time. Now, what's cool about these skill trees is that you can pick any skill at any point. You don't have to follow a path. You can pick any of them. If you get one skill tree by opening up your seasonal ranks, if you want to go down and open up an ultimate as your first skill, highly suggest you don't do that, but you can if you want to. You can pick any skill from anywhere on the tree. They're all open to you. You don't have to go down. You can play your skills how you want to play them, which is much different than what we have now. You have to work your way down the trees. You have to unlock things. You have to wait till you level up. You can now pick any skill you want at any point. I think I did it in the other one there. I think I had, I'm pretty sure I reset everything in the gameplay. Loth, did you do the same thing? Now I'm hoping that I'm pretty sure that I removed everything and I was just putting skill points in, but am I wrong about that, Lothburger? Wait, hold on. Let me see, because I think I took everything out. I might be wrong. Hold on. Did I reset all? I think that might be wrong. I think you might need to pull. Oh yeah, because look, like, so I have nothing here, but that, did I not do that? Let's see, skill tree here. I did have a point in basic skills there. Hold on. Maybe it's just 1 point in each. Maybe it's 1 point in each. I might be wrong. Hold on. 11. Remove everything. I thought I reset everything and I just started putting points in. Okay, well, I think I'm going to take back everything I said. I think you have to put 1 point in something. But 1 point is not a big deal. No. I don't remember. Shoot. I'm going to have to ask everybody and see if they did it. I don't know if I've reset everything. I could have sworn I did. So like, this is what I mean. Like it was so short. We had 2 hours to play. That was it. 2 hours to read through all the skills, figure everything out. No, it's not a MOBA yet. I don't know when we're gonna get it on MOBA. But yeah, I think you might need to put 1 point into everything. I'm gonna ask a couple people and I'll verify that again. All I remember was just like pulling points out and putting things in and thinking, oh wow, I can just go all the way down here because I've already taken points out. But I think I was because I had points in each one of them. But we'll finish going over how the skills work though, because there's still a lot to it. So you get one choice of the 2 on the top here. So this one here, this is going to be if you need yeah, it does. So let's say you need some resource generation for your wrath. Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like you could put them anywhere. Yeah, me too, J Money. It's gonna be pretty fun. So if you want, like, let's say early on in the leveling stages, you need wrath generation to continually casting your spells. You're going to take this option here. Then maybe later on, you can move up in the torment tiers or pit tiers, bosses, whatever you're doing. You're going to take this option here because this is going to give you more damage for that skill. Now, and then each one of them will have an option sometimes of changing it. So we saw that we have, this was a demonology skill here. And then a demonology basic and lesser demon. You can now change this right here. Thank you for the bits. This changes it so that you summon a mega lunatic. So it changes around the way that it works. Hey, D-Nice. And then that mega lunatic runs, hits something, explodes, and then 3 other little lunatics pop out and they explode and they do damage. Then, wait, why am I going backwards here? This one here. Now, this is going to convert it to a Hellfire skill. And we've seen a lot of this in the Paladin skill tree. Something that might be Discipline is changed, or Disciple is changed to Judgment, or Juggernaut, or something like that. So if you're building a build around Hellfire, no, I'm showing it. This is all of my live footage when I got to playtest. So you now get every 1 second, your command fallen passively summons a lunatic that follows you around, and then it detonates when things come close to you. So every 1 second, and these are the fallen lunatics right here. All of these guys right around here, you can see them all. Those are the ones that passively spawn, and now they become bodyguards for you. Awesome single. I'm glad. Thank you for watching. So then, our next one here, let me keep going forward. This one now changes it to an Abyss skill. So there's 3 different types of skills. There's Demonology, Abyss, and Hellfire. You can now pick whichever one for that basic skill is going to fit your build best. So now this one is going to summon up to 3 fallen grunts instead of fallen lunatics. So it changes what you're summoning now. So if you don't want to have lunatics, you want to have grunts, you can summon grunts. And then these are going to deal damage to enemies. They're going to attack them and they're going to generate wrath. So if you can afford to have an Abyss skill and you need to do damage here because you are running low on wrath, you can now take this first option here. You can get rid of this. You don't have to take this one now, and you can go into damage, and then you can take this option here and then get more wrath back. Or you go with one of the ones that explode, And then you take the other option to give you Wrath back there. So, and then you also have these here. Let's see. You have every 15 hits, your Command Fallen will give you 1 Dominance. Now, Dominance is used to summon demons. So if you're running short on Dominance, this is going to be your next option here. If you're not running short on Dominance, because maybe you're not running a Dominance per heavy build, then you can take this option here. Your demons summoned by Command Fallen now are going to deal 8% increased damage every second they are alive, up to 30%. So the skill tree is designed to let you play your build the way you want it. That's the change that we're going to be getting, is that you can pick a skill. Passives are removed. They're put into gear, they're put into aspects, and the skill tree is going to customize how you want your build to feel and look. Then your gear is actually really, from what I am guessing based on what they've given us, the gear is going to really matter. The gear is going to have to give you the damage that you need, which right now it really doesn't. Greater affixes on gear, not really much. Aspects are good and very, very strong. A lot of the damage comes from aspects, but the gear itself will now have passives in it. So finding the right gear is going to make a difference in your build. It gives gear a lot more validity. You have that. You're not hunting for a skill point to get a passive that'll change your build around. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. You're hunting for gear because you already have your build up and running exactly how you want it. You just need to make it stronger now. Have you found a fast build for farming, like the Lazy Summoner Necro builds? In what season? So I also have a build that I put together very, very quickly that I'm going to show everybody. Well, Season 12 hasn't started yet, and the builds really aren't going to change in Season 12. So whatever is in Season 11, you pretty much can run in Season 12. So any questions about the skill tree, though? We can look a little further down here. This one actually was one of the ones that I built into. Let's see, let me go back here. No, not Infernal Breath. I don't think. Let me go back a little further here. I think it was this one here. I think it was, yeah, this one here. This one is actually one that it's going to be in my leveling build, which I posted the build, but I don't have a planner yet because Mobalytics isn't updated. We'll have plenty of planners and plenty of guides when the expansion pack drops. But Rampage, this right here summons a rampaging brute that is going to smash wildly, dealing damage for you. Now, what's cool about this is that there's 2 different things. One of them, if you choose the Vanguard Soul Shard, it now changes it to this here. Casting a rampaging brute now summons an additional brute, and they're going to follow you, and they're going to swipe at enemies. So normally, it's this brute that stands up and just smashes the ground right around you, and it stays stationary, and it doesn't move. It just stays there. You take the Vanguard Soul Shard, and it changes around the skill in your skill tree to now they follow you around, and there's 2 of them, and they just automatically attack monsters. And that happens for 10 seconds, and it costs 10 dominance. Hey, Mamba, welcome in. So as long as you have enough dominance, which we have to do, then you're going to be able to get this up, and you'll have your 2 brutes. Thanks for the raid. So you take the Vanguard Soul Shard, it changes around the way that your skills work, so you have to do that there. Stream is going good. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate it. We have no idea. We didn't really get to see much of the gear or aspects at all. No idea. But the affixes are still there. All the affix lines are still there. They're just moving passives into aspects and into gear. But we really didn't get to see much itemization at all. So what's fun about this? Let me see here. Killing enemies with rampage, or demons. Wait, killing enemies or demons with rampage. So your own demons, which is very fun. Yeah, I'm excited about the Warlock too. So killing enemies or your own demons is going to increase the damage of rampage.
Rampage increase. And from what I gather, and we can go through a couple more skills, but what I think happens now, and with them removing the passives out, and they want that to be your chase, any single damage increase will only be for the skill that you're choosing. So we've seen it in a couple different skills here. I'll go back through again and verify and make sure that that's correct. But I think it only is the one that you're increasing. It's not like you take this and you do 70% more damage total, which is a really great change because that means that all of the damage is going to come from other sources. Your passives and your tree is not going to be your main source of damage. So let's keep going. Casting Rampage compels your lesser demon skills to generate 0 wrath per hit for 5 seconds. I'm not sure what this is used for yet. I saw this and I can't figure it out yet. I'm sure that there's a reason that you don't want to generate wrath. But I didn't have enough time to figure it out. So then did I skip that one? Yeah, see this is what I mean. Like I was so excited, nervous, all over the place. There are no passives, so I didn't get to see any. There are no passives in the skill tree. So this right here, Rampage summons a larger demon that deals 50% multiplicative increase, and now that's the demon that deals it. Recast to command the demon to leap around the battlefield, dealing increased damage. Rampage is now an Abyss skill. And it's an Abyssal recast skill. So there's very specific charms. There's occult skills that are Abyssal. There's recast skills that are Abyssal, which can be used with the Mastermind, I believe it is. Oh wait, I went back up to it. Recasting. Oh no, I didn't. No, I'm going backwards here. But this was the reason that I played this, and we'll talk about the build that I played in just a second. Thank you for the follow. How's it going, Burrito? So does the end the usefulness of shake? No. No, everything there are things that have cooldown on it. There's still going to be cooldown on skills and stuff. That's not passives are removed, not cooldown reductions. Passives were mostly just like increases to overall damage. So this is the reason that I wanted to take this skill in the build that I'm running, because this right here, Rampage now becomes a mobility skill. Rampage is now a direct leaping attack, dealing increased damage and transforming you into demon form. So Rampage is now a Hellfire mobility skill. So you get to become a demon in your demon form every time that you leap here. So this is where they're transforming skills into other things. So he was using Rampage because it became a mobility skill in the build that I'm going to go over with everybody. I took a couple different mobility skills in because it was a leveling build, only level 40, and I wanted something that was going to move as fast as I could. So Rampage now smashes your lesser demons to fortify you. So if you use Rampage and you have lesser demons out, it smashes them and it fortifies you. And then Rampage has a 100% chance to eviscerate enemies, eviscerate elite enemies. That was really hard for me to read for some reason, that are not already eviscerated. So eviscerated enemies instantly lose 20% of their bleeding life and then take bleeding damage over 12 seconds. Oh no, everything is going to change. All itemization. They said it in the Sanctuary sit down. Expect a ton of changes to all of the gear, everything that you know. Salvage is basically going to be useless, which was something they talked about in the Sanctuary sit down as well. So you'll have a lot less trips back to town. So any other questions about the skill tree? This is kind of just the way that this works, and I'm gonna have a video, and there's already sites and stuff with planners and stuff on there that have all of the skills and stuff if you want to see them. But all of the increase to damage in your skill tree is just specifically for those skills. Is every single one of them has been that skill specifically. So it's pretty cool. You're not gonna need to take specific one of these little tiny nodes here to make your overall build do more damage. Nope, I don't know. They didn't really talk too much about it. They just said that they're going to be changing around the way that you need to use materials. So they said that you won't need to go back to town to salvage everything at some point. And that is why they brought the loot filter in. They said if they're going to bring in a loot filter and people wanted to auto salvage things, then it's kind of useless to have salvage in the game if people don't want to go and salvage things. So they're listening. And if they don't, if players don't want to do this, they might as well just remove it and then find other ways for people to get materials and use it for crafting. Crafting is going to go even further with the expansion pack with the Heraldric Cube. So they're not removing crafting. They're actually making it bigger and better. They're just removing the need to salvage and getting you materials from other sources. So it's going to be pretty cool to see what that means and what that does. But that's also a really great change. The 11th. Okay, so you guys want to see the build that I put together in like 30 minutes because I didn't have any more time than that by the time I finished reading the skills and trying all the different builds? Okay, I think this is it. All right, Star Knight, have a good one. Okay. Let's see. Speed that up a little bit. Okay, so this is the ultimate here that I chose. This is not the Vanguard ultimate. But now I'm in demon form now because I'm using Rampage. Those skulls right there, these skulls are heat-seeking. So you can cast them and they fly into the room, they seek out enemies, and they bounce off of walls. So now I have a leap ability that puts me in demon form. I have Nether Step, which is also a movement skill. The ultimate here, this is Obodian. This is your mount, and all of those little flame things, those all deal damage to enemies. Your mount constantly follows you around and attacks. So, and when it's attacking, and right now with the ultimate here, I can actually hop onto my mount just like this. The ultimate does damage while my mount does damage, and I'm moving at increased movement speed. So this is the first iteration of the build that I was putting together. I ended up changing Nether Step a little bit. I figured out where I could get a little bit more movement speed. And again, I had no tempering. We had almost no aspects, which tempering is free, or basically when you're leveling. So I would have had movement speed tempered. I would have had chance to deal double damage with something like this skill by level 40. I think there's ways of increasing the time on the mount. I have to go back through the skill tree and look, but I think there is ways. It's a little bit bigger, but it also has no passives. The skill tree is just completely different. It's nothing at all like the skill trees are now. But this is the first iteration of the build, and I made some changes here. But the goal is, and I love watching this. You cast a bunch of these skulls that chase things. You use Nether Step, which puts you in the ground, kind of like Duriel, which the Diglett build. I don't know if Merlando's still listening or not. But you see right there, you see the gear. I had like, what, 2 aspects or 3 aspects on? But right there, that was Nether Step. You go under the ground, basically, or become invulnerable. And then you also have Leap. So you shoot your skulls out. You do Nether Step. I was still learning how to use it here. Yeah, but that was just in the playtest. They're fixing that. Next season, you won't have to open doors anymore. But do you see the Nether Step under the door? Yeah. So the next run that I do gets much better because I was learning the class and learning how to play and learning the skill tree. So let me find the next dungeon that I did. Let's speed it up just a little bit. The best palette. I'm not too sure. I didn't really look into much of the paladin after like the first week or 2 of the season here. But oh wait. Here, wait, let's watch the boss fight. Just when you walk into the boss room. Oh, I think I went way past it. Yeah, way past it. Go backwards a little bit here. Okay, here we go. Just watch all of the skull spawns. And they all just start bouncing around all over the place. And I ran around on the mount to drop all of the skulls, all of the explosions all over the place. They all just start coming backwards and attacking. It's going to be very fun. So this is Nether Step. This is the one that I was using for movement. Yes, it does. Expand the possibilities quite a bit. I think that was the one that I ended up selecting. Nether Step portals. So you can make a portal, which I don't really know when you would ever want to use this or not. But you can make a portal and you can go back into the portal. So you can kind of bounce around between the portals. I'm not sure when you would want to use that or not. Nether Step brings all of your abyssal summons with you through the shadow and extends their duration. Maybe Mephisto, yeah. That would be cool, but I'm not too sure. I think it will, Mr. Devil. Just based on what I got to see. So what was this one here? This one is Nether Step now lets you run through the abyss while immune for up to 3 seconds. So you're going to cast again to exit. So you can travel for 3 whole seconds. Completely immune. So if you shoot a bunch of those little fire skulls out, and then you dive under the ground, basically, you have 3 whole seconds to travel, completely immune to damage. And then, Nether Step movement speed bonus now lasts 50% longer. So you gain a movement speed, and you can increase the duration here, and sucks enemies into the exit portal and swaps places with them. Bosses and unstoppable enemies just take damage. All right, Shadow, have a good one. So I took this here also. Nether Step gains an additional charge because I wanted to make sure that I got more out of the movement speed and more out of movement. And then this is 100% damage reduction and decays alongside of the movement speed bonus. So let's go look back at Nether Step real fast. So you get 100% damage reduction, which is immune. Let's go back here to Nether Step itself so you can see it. So you step through the shadows of hell and emerge at the target's location. You gain 4 stacks of shadow form, as well as 100% increased movement speed, which decays over 2 seconds. So more ranks gives your speed duration longer time. So if you got enough points, you max this out, and then you can have more movement speed faster. You add extra charges to that, and now you have more movement speed, more charges. You add Rampage in for leaps, and you add a Bodian in from the Vanguard Soul Shard, and you have a ton of movement. Yeah, it's very, very fun. It's very fun. And no major damage sources come from your skill tree anymore, which is really, really good. That's how it should be. Because if you're going to get massive increases to overall damage and they're on gear, that means that you take the skill here that you want and then you find a piece of gear that makes that skill better. Now, no matter what we do and no matter what you play, there will be skills that will always be better than other skills. That's just the way that ARPGs are. But this gives you a ton of customizable options and a lot more flexibility in how you want to play your builds. We didn't get to see the Paragon, so we have no idea. Yeah, it's a very good change. Let's see. We got damage reduction here. So damage, I think, is going to feel a lot different in the expansion pack as well. I hope we can get more than 5 Paragon boards as well also. So let me get to the other. Dark Prison creates a shadowy totem for 8 seconds that drains or chains enemies, tethering them to an area and preventing them from escaping. It's like what they do to you. Didn't want to walk to the couch to get food. Man, I would walk for anywhere to get food. Oh, Merlando, did you hear? Diglett build is basically coming back. Maybe not in as much of a form, but you still get the teleport underneath the ground. Kind of. Yes, they're going to show us probably a lot more. I'm hoping I want to see the skill trees before we go live from a builder perspective, but then I also don't want to see the skill tree because I want it to be a surprise when I get in there and try it for the first time. But I want to plan builds out, so yeah. Yeah, like the Paladin launch. Hitting an enemy with a dark prism fortifies you for 1% of your life. Small missiles that enter your dark prism are slowed by 99%. So if you put that prism down and you stand between you and enemies, if they shoot something at you, it's basically just going to stop. And it just goes really, really slow. And then you can move out of the way. There's just a lot of like interesting, quirky things in here that are going to be super fun to play. Disciples Domination. Is that a game? I was trying to figure out my fortify here because there was something I was figuring out. I can't remember what it was I needed fortify for. This is why I think that I need to have 1 point in each of them. Because this one I have 1. This one I have 1. Hey, Arch. Yeah, the skill tree is really, really awesome. I think you need 1 in each. Gotcha. No, I didn't get to see that. I don't think that we're going to have a PTR for Season 13. Yeah, it might be there, Merlando. It's not that complex. It's not complex. It's actually relatively simple in design, but very well thought of in how it affects builds. You take a skill, you get 1 of 2 modifiers on top and bottom, and then you get to pick which one you want to do. Now, in branching out in its complexity, there may be fun because you get to turn things into Hellfire skills or Abyss skills or occult skills, occult Abyss skills. So there is a lot there. So that's going to be fun to see. But at a very base core, you pick a skill, you get 2 modifiers, and then you get two minor modifiers and a major modifier. This is Diablo 4 for the expansion pack. Yep. This is the new class that will be coming in the expansion pack. Yep. Yes, I have streamed PoE 2, not PoE 1. PoE 1 is a little bit more in depth than PoE 2, but yeah, this is the new class. I got to play it. I snuck away to Blizzard HQ to go play it. Yes, this is the Warlock here. Did you hear what they're doing to the Druids? All right, have a good night, JR. Did you hear what they're doing to Druids? I went and I play tested it at Blizzard. Blizzard, or Druids, with the new talisman system, will now be able to have bears as a summon. One of the things there. Hey, Goku. So you'll be able to have bear summons now. And they did a major rework to wait, did I go backwards? I've been going backwards this whole time. They did a major rework to the whole skill tree. And if you like playing in werewolf form, but you like using pulverize, you can now pulverize as a werewolf. If you like shredding, but you want to shred in bear form, you can now shred in bear form. You get to choose the form that you want, and you get to play whatever skill you want. Hey, Judith. All right. See you later, Garden. No, Warlock will not be free. You will need to purchase the DLC. Hey, how's it going, Swoosh? Yep, you do need to buy it. Every single character will be getting a new skill tree, and that is just in the base game. Paladin is not broken. We've talked a little bit about this. Paladin is incredibly strong, but not broken. Sakura Wolf, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How many points do we got here? How many followers we have? Oh, that was actually enough followers to give away some points. So let's give away some points. Spiritborn was broken. The Paladin is just very strong. Spiritborn was way, way stronger than the Paladin was, or the Paladin is. It will not be free ever. No, you have to purchase it. It's an expansion pack. So if the pit tier scaling is even, let's just say 30%, then that's what? 180 times stronger, and then they could clear pit 150 in less than 2 minutes. So I'm guessing that they are probably like 250 to 300 times stronger than the Paladin is on launch when the Spiritborn launched. Spiritborn is way, way stronger. Yeah, not even a comparison. It's pretty crazy, honestly. Yeah, pit 150 in under 2 minutes is what the Spiritborn was able to do when it launched. Paladin has cleared pit 144, to give you a perspective. All right, you ready for this this dungeon? This is where I kind of figured it out with Nether Step, and I kind of got the timing down for a Rampage and for a Bodian mount. So you see it's moving a lot faster now. My movement speed's catching up a little bit here. Yeah, Spiritborn was bugged. Yes, yeah. Paladin are not getting nerfed to the ground like the Spiritborn was. But this build, like one dungeon, and I was able to kind of get a little bit more under control for what I wanted. So that's Nether Step there. And I was underground a lot longer now. Do you see the little Vile Child? They're exploding. On like they get summoned, and then if they find monsters, they run over and they explode. Thank you for the follow, Hasaria. How's it going today? Welcome in. 3 more followers on Twitch. We'll give away some points to everybody. We'll see what happens with the rogue. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Arch, thank you for the follow as well. We weren't actually supposed to get gear, but I got a little bit of gear here. Yes, they have 2 resources. I don't know what the Demon Hunter played like, but this is one of the aspects here. So during any of the volatility in demon form, you're going to gain duration of volatility or demon form you gain is increased by 70%. So if you want to stay inside of demon form, there's an option for that. You gain increased movement speed while close to your demon. So see how the Vile Children are staying next to me? That could be, as long as they're there, 100% increase the damage, basically, or increase the movement speed. Demon Hunter. Oh, nice. Did I get the weapon here? Okay. Well, in demon form, you're going to deal increased damage for every close enemy, up to 140% multiplicative. Dark Lord Ace, welcome in. Thank you for that. They didn't change Gushing Wounds or Rend at all. So I don't think anything. Now that's doubled, obviously, on a two-handed weapon here. But this is where all of the damage is going to come from for your builds, aspects like this here. These, I think they gave us generic affixes, because we didn't get anything cool. This isn't Demon Hunter. It just has two resources like Demon Hunter does. Gushing Wounds and Rend, I don't think are going to be a thing. They actually, here, I'll actually show you guys some of, they dropped some of that. They actually showed some of the uniques for the Warlock. They actually had a whole blog post about, which I still need to go over also. So this is just one. There's 4 different playstyles. This is the one that's more up close and personal. There's one that is focused around summoning demons and killing off your demons. There is one that is focused around being like in the shadows, lurking, controlling monsters from there, which has some really strong basic skills. They're really, really strong. And then they also have one that is basically like a caster. And the ultimate for that is so cool. It's so much different, Goofball, and it is the evolved form of the D2R1. And they actually talked about that. Like, that was the point of all 3 of the Warlocks. You have the D2R1, who is just figuring things out. Kind of not unsure about himself. He can find some demons. Then you go to Immortal, where he's kind of like figuring stuff out. They have a whole bunch of demons now in a slaughterhouse. And then you have the Diablo 4 Warlock. The Diablo 4 Warlock has his stuff together. He's really adept at summoning demons. He can summon these big, gigantic archfiends. So it's a pretty cool progression. Wait, here, hold on, wait. Let me go back to these affixes here. So hexed or slowed. Wait, hexed enemies are slowed by 70%. When you make an enemy vulnerable or become vulnerable for 3 seconds when you are slowed. Wait. Hexed enemies are slowed for 3 seconds when you make an enemy them vulnerable. Oh, got it right. Okay. And then this one here, making an enemy vulnerable, has a chance to weaken them. I was going through actually the aspects here, I believe. No, I can't read anything at all. Hey, Sacred. Yeah, well, the Diablo 3 Warlock, you know, remember where what's her name? Blood Maiden went? Blood Maiden went on a vacation this season, so the Warlock's there. Goofball, thank you for the follow. Let me give away some points. There you go. Enjoy the points. Okay. Okay, wait. Brimstone explodes into lava pools, dealing... This is additive damage. 300% additive damage, 300% of damage of their damage over time. Standing in a lava pool grants volatility. Volatility randomly erupt. So when you create or when you gain volatility, randomly empowers Hellfire skills when you attack with them. Empowered skills deal 50% increased damage on their next cast. Hey, Depeshi. So that was one aspect. And then casting Hellfire skills grant occult skills 60% cooldown reduction for 3 seconds. Casting Abyss skills grant occult skills 63% resource cost reduction. Interesting. Let's see what else we got here. I was going through each one of them and reading through them. I think I did the Vanguard already. I think that was one that we were just playing on. We already saw one of the weapons had a 140% X for Hell or for Vanguard while you were in demon form. Well, we'll go over the Warlock blog too. The race is going to be fun next week, or the butcher is going to be fun next week, Death? Wait. Oh, yeah, because we already went over that one here. Customizable is the builds now? In your opinion, wait, we didn't get to play the... This isn't the PTR, though. The Warlock was not on the PTR. And its skill tree is completely different. Yeah, the Butcher and all this, the new dungeons and stuff are going to be pretty cool. Yeah, this is the updated skill tree for the expansion pack, not for Season 12. This is just the Warlock. I don't know what the rest of the classes are going to be like. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was the items that we went to here. So these were what they look like, which wasn't really much. There wasn't much that we got to see with the items. All of these looked pretty basic. And this one here, this had like Command Fallen on it. So that's one of the commands, Wrath per second, which is nice. +2 to Rampage here. And like, we're looking at +2 to skills, and this is a level 40 piece of gear. And I went to the vendor, and there's 2 different items here with ranks to skills. So I think they may have increased the ranks. Yeah, so we were talking about this actually in Discord, because traditionally casters are intellect, but it takes a lot of willpower to be able to bind demons to you and not let them take over and control you, and you be the one controlling them. So that was my thoughts on it. And then the final piece, did I look at that? I don't think I looked at it. Okay, so that's all of that. I actually went up. I think this was the end of the playtest here. We only had 2 hours. 2 hours was not a lot of time. But here, let's see. It was about 6 hours. Turn this down because it's really loud. This is my editing tool here. This was the video that I did. You guys wanted to watch it here. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. This is the... It was just... Oh, I must have done it over. Okay. Well, here. We'll just open up the gameplay over here. All right, well, let's go over this here, and I'll show you the gameplay for all 4 of the specialties. The Grey Knights have the same stipulations. Willpower is needed to prevent possession. What's the Grey Knights? Yeah, I had to fly longer than I got to test it. Yep. Warhammer lore. Oh, nice. So, all right. So you guys want to know what my flight time and travel time was? Because this was actually pretty crazy. So I flew out, and I let everybody know that I was going to be gone. And I flew out. I left in the morning. I left my house probably about like 7-ish, somewhere around there. And I didn't get to the airport or to the hotel until 11:30 p.m. in California. 11:30 p.m. somewhere around there, I think it was what it was. And it was like I think it was after a couple people had texted me to see if I was still there already, and it was already after they had messaged me, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm way too tired. So I went up to the hotel and I went to sleep because I'd been traveling since 7 a.m. I woke up the next morning early because we had breakfast. We did breakfast. I got that name, the lanyard that they had, and after breakfast, we had a tour of a little tour of the headquarters there, which was very cool to see. So much memorabilia all over the place, these really cool statues and paintings and pictures. And then we got to go, had to watch 2 ads to get this update. Wait, which 2 ads? I didn't even know there were ads on YouTube. There's ads on YouTube Live? And so we get there and we got to sit down with the developers and we had 2 Q&As. The first one was systems based and the second one was lore based. We got to take pictures in certain places. Certain places were off limits for taking pictures. Other ones were not. So we did the 2 Q&As, which was very, very cool. Hearing the developers talk in person. And then we got to actually like sit down and like just freely talk. It was just like in between like sessions and stuff, which you got to just talk to the developers and ask some questions and talk about the game. And everybody was nerding out about Diablo 4, and it was pretty cool to see. And then we went, had lunch, and then we swapped and we got to do the playtest. The playtest was 2 hours long. I spent most of it, the first half, just reading the skill tree to try and figure out what was what. And then I got to play all the builds and stuff like that. And we went back to the hotel. Everybody got changed. We went to a catered bowling event, and they had it in the background. They had Mephisto on all of these lanes in like big, gigantic scenes. And it was just like him just like reaching forward. It was pretty cool. So then we all bowled, and then there was a bowl off for a custom ball. Hold on, let me pull up the custom ball real quick. Let me see it real fast. This was pretty cool. And I was with Tactical Ghost, Lothburger, Immortalize, Screamheart, and oh my gosh, I'm Rage Gaming, Lucky Strikes. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. And now I'm drawing a blank on his name from Rage Gaming. The heck. I didn't do too bad. It took me but I had to start bowling with my left hand because I have this here and it was not feeling great. So I had to start bowling with my left hand, which didn't go too badly either. But so this was breakfast here. They had the breakfast of hatred, which was pretty funny. They had angry eggs, devil's bacon, chaos sausage, inferno roasted potatoes, and heavenfall pancakes. So then here's the bowling alley. Here's Mephisto in the back. Wait, is it? Oh yeah, I did turn the screen on. Okay. And then this was the bowling ball. Look at this thing. Somebody won it. And then this was... Hey, look at that. Speak of the devil. Lothburger right there. So Lothburger immortalized. So we got to hang out. So just to give you guys an idea, I'm 7 feet tall. And look at how much taller Lothburger is than I am. Crazy, right? This was one of the statues there. I don't think I moved any of the other phones. Yeah, and 600 pounds, actually, of solid muscle. Okay, let's take a look at this Warlock here, because the blog had more than what they let on. So for this here, you guys want to watch the Warlock class trailer? Yeah, I was crouching. I was actually on my knees, but I had like shoes, like the dog things where they put the dog on the thing there. uh 7 feet, 600 pounds of solid muscle. There's something else I can't remember. What the legend keeps on growing though. All right, here we go. Warlock trailer. Here it is. Thank you for the follow. That's what I want right there. This is so cool. So that's the trailer for the Warlock here. So they actually go into the origins of the Warlock here for any lore nerds like Lothburger out there. Hey, Zeus. 7 feet on an elevator. I don't know, but look at that one, though. That's pretty cool looking. Yeah, me neither, Jedi. So it goes into a little bit about like the Sin Wars, and the original demon summoners were the Vizdurai, and nearly 15 centuries later. So there's a pretty deep, vast history for this here. It's not a Sork either. They are completely separate. We got to listen to some of the lore behind it, and they're basically vagabonds that stumbled upon ways to summon the text from the Vizdurai. Am I getting this right, Loth? They stumbled upon the text from the Vizdurai, learn how to control demons, and they're still vagabonds. They're still at the edges of society, and they operate from there. Like, you're not going to walk into a town and expect to see warlocks. Like you may expect to see a barbarian who has been hired to do something or fight evil. The warlocks are the outcasts of society, but they've taken it upon themselves to fight back against hell for probably like a grudge or something like that. So, so they're not really good or evil, is what I got out of it. You will see loads of them in town, yes. Yes. But in the lore and fantasy of the Diablo world of Sanctuary, not in the game, you wouldn't see them all in town like that. You'll get all of the stuff if you've gotten the expansion pack, yes, including the new upcoming skins that are coming out soon. It will be Warlock Sanctuary, yes, 100%. To get that beachfront property, exactly, yeah. Chaotic neutral is a pretty good way to go about it and talk about it. So the source of inspiration for how the warlock exudes their power, influencing from how they understand the world and shape their will. These are not their skills, but the foundation of their ceaselessness. So force of will, above all, warlocks must strengthen their willpower against opposition, striving to purge fear, doubt, and weakness. All right, Loth, have a great one. Demonology, history, taxonomy, physiology, psychology, summoning, and subjugation of demons, from the lowest maggots to prime evils. Says it right there. Hellfire, theory, conjuration, and application of hell's destructive elements. I just... I'm not too sure. Possibly, yeah. Shadow. Well, Primeval is Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo, if I'm not mistaken. That Duriel is a lesser evil, right? Because that was the whole theme of this, was the lesser evils, which was Duriel and Dariel. Yeah. Prime is like Mephisto, Baal, Diablo. Saw your new video on the Warlock, looks fun. Yeah, it is, Fear. Belial, I'm not sure where Belial falls on the lesser prime or evil thing. And then Shadow, tools of deception, inception, and manipulation, used both in combat and in subterfuge. And then martial weaponry, symbolic and literal extensions of the warlock's will. Again, will for willpower. So once a warlock practices has begun tearing open the veil between worlds, they cannot stop. Their hunger for power and purpose is insatiable, stronger than any pain they endure. Okay. Okay, yeah, I thought so. I thought that was the primevals. And then there's one above them, right? Oh, wait, let me see. Oh, yeah, okay. Aspect, the prime evil, sort of hatred. Okay. Prime evils. Okay. Yeah, I know. We're have to go grab Loa. Is controlling the summons any different from the necromancer? Yes. I'll show you the different specs also, so you guys can see it. Yep, that's the one, Van. Lilith isn't worth mentioning. She hasn't been relevant since season 1. I think she's coming back. I think she's coming back in this. I was talking to Loth about it. I think she's coming back. And I think she's going to play a pretty big role. And I hope she does. Annihilate your foes with diabolical skills here. So the resources are Wrath and Dominance, which I think I went over here. Let's see. Yeah, this one here. Any of your Occult Abyss skills will now... I think it was this one. Yeah, here. That will rely on 2 types of resources, Wrath and Dominance. Wrath is used to cast most skills, and you generate it by using certain skills, and it slowly regenerates over time. Dominance is used to summon demons, and this regenerates slowly over time. There will be some creative ways that you can increase the generation, but from the early looks of it, it's not something that will work. Yep. Flipception. So these were all of the different shards and stuff. Did anybody get to watch this? I asked earlier for some feedback. Did anybody get to watch that one? Because I haven't really done any videos like this one before. This one here, gameplay, I believe. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I just want to know, like, because I put a lot of work into it, and sometimes you can put a lot of work into videos, and it's not really noticed too much, which happens a lot. A lot of times I'll do a video like I just did recording earlier, and it's way more popular than anything that you put a lot of work into. The Great Dragon Pathmat, who was the original embodiment of evil. Gotcha. I actually think I remember that, Adam. Yep, thank you. So this right here, this one was Legion. Let me know if the gameplay sound is too loud, but... I'm not surprised at all, MRA. They need to keep something a secret. Thanks, Ellie. Appreciate it. So this here is you're gonna summon and you're gonna kill off your demons. Yeah, so they're all dying, and you will get one demon that will stay with you the whole time, which is the big giant dude with the slice hands that's crawling behind you. So this is your minion playstyle, your Warlock. This was actually me playtesting, which was very, very fun. So then let's go to... So this one is... So the next we played Mastermind, I believe. Yeah, so this is Mastermind here. So this one is where you're like controlling things from the shadows, and then all of a sudden you like pop up out of the shadows and things like that happen. And this one is the one with a really strong basic skill. That one that, like, I think it's a basic skill. Yeah, so this one is really, really cool too. And you see the demon following behind you in the ground? That's your summoned demon. And it just goes off, and then you can use the command that demon, and it will pop up and do different things. Yeah, he jaws him. Yeah, that's basically what it is. We didn't get to go to the new area. We didn't get to play it. It was grayed out. You couldn't see anything of it. You see this skill? It's really strong. So this is your mastermind here. It's more about control. You go into shadow form. You can be stealthed in shadow form. That's shadow form right there, and you can be stealthed. You can even cast skills from stealth as long as you have stacks of shadow form, and there's ways to increase that. So let's see where. The next one was what? Ritualist here? Well, I don't know what's going to happen to Shroud. And I don't know how that's going to work either. This one has probably one of the coolest looking ultimates. That right there. Did you see it? This ultimate is so cool looking. And then these little things here, you get to throw out little explosion things here, and then they all chain together. Yeah, it would have to be pretty cool for a 60-second cooldown. 666 right there. This, I'm hoping they change, though. It has to be insane damage, but also it does not benefit from cooldown reduction. Now, things are subject to change. But this was some of the thing I wrote because we were actually given a little notepad during the playtest. We weren't allowed to take the notes with us, but we could write down things for the developers to read. That was one of the things that I wrote down. There could be a unique that makes it go down, but it doesn't benefit from cooldown reduction at all. So you're on a 666 cooldown. It's so cool, but it won't be usable if they don't reduce that. But yeah, it's so long. I didn't realize that I put... Okay. Oh, I think I was trying to figure out how to reduce it right there. And here it is. So you didn't even kill that monster. But these things were very fun. When you detonate them, if they are connected, they all detonate in a line. Witch Doctor Skulls, okay. You can play the Warlock when the expansion pack releases, if you buy the expansion pack. It's just so cool looking. I don't know, SWAT. I don't know. They did say that when we get a little bit closer to the expansion pack release in April, they're going to do another live update stream. So right there was just siphoning power. I don't know if you saw it, but you can siphon power from your demons. And that's what I was doing there. And then you can you see the line of explosions? You place those down. So you can run past monsters. The overview one, it's the one that has the most views, Merlando. So you see them, they all detonate in lines. So you run past monsters, throw them on the ground, and then when monsters run back through them, you explode them. The overview is just something that I haven't really done anything like that. I use a couple different, like blurring the background and having a green screen up front. Oh, you mean like an early test, like level 25? They did the same thing in Spiritborn. You could play it to level 25. So they'll definitely do it with the Warlock.
Not ready for that.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool looking, isn't it? It's got some like new visual skills and did I already? We already do. Oh no, here's Vanguard here. This is what I spent the most time playing here. Was this one here? And this is just the generic one that they gave us. And then I changed it up after that. No, this is a generic build. We're only level 40. And they didn't give us any aspects other than maybe 2. And we had no tempers. We had very, very, very generic gear. So these characters aren't designed to be strong. They're just designed to give you an idea of what the playstyle is. This was my favorite by far. Yeah, this one is incredibly fun.
I don't have the dominance.
No, I didn't.
Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it.
I got the builds that I wanted up and running when I actually started to theorycraft a build and like put things together and put in the items that I wanted and put the skills in I wanted. Everything got faster. It didn't feel slower at all. Okay, and then now there's more. There's more. We got sidetracked. So new keywords here. Lilith did warn us. Yes. Mobalytics, not yet. But I will probably, what I'll probably do tomorrow is I'll put it in my seasonal tutorials here. And I'll have a whole Warlock section set up. And I have all screenshots from everything. So I'll probably put that in there. But yeah, wait, there's more. So new keywords, Hex. Increase Abyss skill damage taken by enemies based on their missing life. And it stacks up to 3 times. Eviscerate. Eviscerated enemies instantly lose a portion of their bleeding life. Then bleed for additional damage. I don't know where the bleed comes from. Shadow form. Shadow form grants unhindered, and any movement grants stealth, but consumes stacks. So while you're in shadow form, if you're moving, you have stealth. Demon form increases your maximum life while active. Kills increase the damage of demonology skills here. And then volatility randomly empowers Hellfire skills when you attack with them. Empower skills deal increased damage on their next cast. So, so this is basically going to be, I think this was Mastermind. This one right here would be Ritualist, Demon form, which is Vanguard, and then this one here was, oh no, this is Mastermind also here. Oh yeah, I should set up like a Warlock setup thing. I should do that. It's a good call. Core skills here. Bombardment. This will actually change based on which one you do, and it does different things, which is pretty cool. So like this one, you cast it, but they showed in it, if you change the modifier, it will now change to something that stays above your head and then just shoots enemies as you run past them. Hey, welcome back, Goblin. So depending on which modifier you choose, these core skills are going to do different things. So here's Bombardment. Blazing Scream. This is the one that I was using. Blazing Scream was very, very fun. And this one I like because it seeks enemies out. Hell Fracture here. Thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Let's go. Then we have Dread Claws. Oh, it is a core skill. Okay, this was very strong. Kind of. I kind of do. Domo. I'll show you in just a second. But they're the secret is they're pretty much all the same. Lilith Wing Strikes, kind of, yeah, it does. Yep. So they actually go into a whole lot of all of the other skills. So you can check them out if you want to. This is the Wall of Demons here, which is pretty cool to see. So the Archfiend skills here that we have, sigil skills, ultimate skills, here it is. Hopefully this gets changed. It's so cool. You're basically pulling hell out of the ground and shooting it up. This is Fiend of Abaddon. This is one of the ultimates. Now, this is what is very cool about this. You take this skill right here, right? It plants itself. No matter what you do, like, you can run away from it. It just sits there and attacking things. If you take one of the modifiers for Vanguard or the fire one, you can turn this into a fire. Then it gets attached to your body, and as you run around, it does this right here. No, we couldn't do the Warlock quest either. We had very, very, very limited on what we could do. And then Terror Swarm. This is the one that I was using in my build. Hey, Zebra, how's it going today? Thanks for the follow. 3 more followers on Twitch will give away some points. So you see how this is moving on its own? One of the modifiers that I chose in the build that I'm going to be playing lets it stay with you. And then it also gives it that hellfireness. And so that was the one that you saw in the gameplay that I had. Metamorphosis here. Look at this. Do you see this shooting? Demon form is so cool. It's so cool. Yeah. This is my thing right here. Now, I didn't play Metamorphosis in the build that I was playing, but I might. We kind of did get mini Diablo before actual Diablo, yep. So we're getting there. Don't worry. We're getting there. We're getting there. So soul shards, I'll have these all posted and stuff. Legion shard here. I have all of these, but I'll add this all to my sheets document. We'll have a whole little thing about all of them. So if you guys want to, you can type in ! sheets and I'll have this all updated. There were a couple cosmetics at the very beginning of this here that they showed. So Mastermind, these are all the shards here. All right, here's some of the uniques. We were actually just talking about this. Tathamet. We were just talking about it. It's the spine of Tathamet. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it was very good, the campfire chat was. This is what all of this is from here. So Hell Fracture deals increased multiplicative damage every third cast, creates a triple fracture. And then you get +3 to Hell Fracture. I think this is the direction that they're going. They're going to give us skill ranks, and everything is going to be focused around that skill that you're going to be using. Plus skill ranks, plus skill ranks, plus skill ranks. Then Wall of Agony gains a Fallen Army variant for free and deals increased damage. So whatever the variant is that for Wall of Agony, you can now have 2 different variants. Yep. I think that's where a lot of your gear is, or your damage is going to come from now, is just your gear. That's where all the multipliers are going to be, not your skill tree. Sigil of Summon now deals 100% increased multiplicative damage. And you can summon 3 additional swarmers with kills outside the ritual. So those are a couple of the uniques that they have. Those are the pictures of them here, but Athemas of the Primes. Hitting an enemy with a core skill increases the damage they take from you per skill for up to a maximum. It doesn't say that. Archfiend Demon skill variant are core skills and cost wrath. Interesting. That should be fun. Yes, the new DLC is coming in April. Yes, April is when it's coming out, but I got to play test it, and I have a whole bunch of footage from when I play tested it, but they also did a deep dive into it today. Yeah, willpower percent on a ring. So not plus to willpower, it's willpower percent. Cage of Madness. Your evade. Whoa. That's cool. I love when they do things like this. Your evade transforms you into an angry lunatic for a limited duration and then explodes for 2,500% of Command Fallen's damage. While you are an angry lunatic, your movement speed is increased, and you spawn mini lunatics every half second that seek out enemies. Hey, Drex, how's it going? Haven't played the game in a few seasons. Gotcha. What didn't you like about the seasonal reset? Command Fallen now deals increased damage. So this should be interesting, because this is 2,500% of Command Fallen's damage. You're increasing Command Fallen's damage, so does it take all the multipliers into account first, and then you get 2,500% of that? Interesting. Litany of Sables. Dread Claws deal increased damage, and additional claws fire out when you gain a stack of Shadow Form. Fun. This is the really strong core skill. Howl of Malefic Torment. Hex dooms enemies below a threshold of life, maintaining the hex and dealing a portion of Doom's damage every second until they die. Dooms deals increased damage, okay? Yeah, there's going to be a lot, King. I'm pretty excited about it. Lurid Pact. Rampage deals increased damage. Each enemy or demon killed by Rampage increases the size of the brute and it smashes. That's very fun. But I'd be using Rampage as a skill. But maybe we'll be using it for brutes. Seal of Ophanim. Profane Sentinel deals increased damage and summons additional eyes that follow you for 10 seconds. The Eightfold Idol. Blazing Scream leaves sigil of subversion shadows or lava trails behind. Sigils of Subversion deals increased damage. Interesting. I wonder what that is. I want to see what that does. Agrom's Schism. Agrom and its summons deal increased damage. You additionally summon Agrom's other half and gain a second charge of Command Agroms. That's interesting too. Hellhound's Sabatons. Abodian, which is the flaming fire mount that you can ride on, deals increased damage. After Command Abodian ends, which is when you ride them, you are connected with a fire chain that deals Command Abodian's drag damage periodically and grants increased movement speed for a limited time. That's fun. Rictus of Terror. Tazroth, who is one of your demons that you can summon, deals increased damage. Command Tazroth's Terror Realm is an ultimate skill that lasts longer, and while active, your abyss skills execute enemies. That's fun. Class quest. Look at this right here. That's the demon that you're learning how to control and summon. I think I remember that. Oh yeah, the goat. He's probably going to be sacrificed, poor guy. So this was a class quest here. They talked about a class quest a little bit. Oh no, more goats. What is that thing? Is that a dead body? So you're going to go on this class quest. I think it's going to be like the Spiritborn quest, which is going to be really long, but fortunately you only have to do it once. But I think you're going to go around to each one of the demons that you can summon, and you go through the ritual for them. Hey, Legless. I just went over it all at the beginning of the stream. Not much. There wasn't much that changed from the PTR. They buffed some bloody affixes and kill streaks and stuff like that, but that was about it. Imagine the goat pet as a warlock. They have Billy the goat. Can't wait to use that Doom armor set. I know. I'm gonna use it. So for anybody that has pre-purchased this already, where's the date? Oh, right here. No, that's not it. Where's the date? Huh, they didn't. You're gonna get these early. If you pre-purchased it already, you're gonna get this back piece here, and you're gonna get this portal early. Yeah, I'll have a video coming out about it, but I went over a lot of the new skill tree. But I believe that if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so D4 builds got it all updated already. So if you guys want to, you guys can go check this out here. This is the new skill tree here. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'll probably put my build together just looking at the footage and stuff, and I'll have a planner for it. But it's all here. March 11th is when it's going live. I tell people all the time, do not trust the reliquary or the and it's in videos, it's recorded, that the reliquary and the seasonal ranks page are not official launch dates, even though it says it will be. They can change it at any time. I have no idea why they're doing it on a Wednesday. No clue. Zero idea. Doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. People requested off on Tuesday because that's when it said. But the preseason, last season, I requested off on a Tuesday and it didn't drop until Thursday. Because that was supposed to end on a Tuesday. I'm not sure, King. I don't, have you seen all of the guides that I have, Grim? Thank you, Chill. Thank you for Chill Out. I appreciate the follow. Thank you, Best Mufflin. One more follower on Twitch. We'll give away some points to everybody. Yeah, they have been going off. Hey, thank you. Let me give away some points. Appreciate that. Welcome in, Carmen. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Last season was different. Meow Tane. Welcome in, Pew. Appreciate that. I'm not sure what's happening with launch days and release days, and things are like all over the place. It's so strange. Gotcha. So the guides that I have aren't for I have build guides and stuff like that, but that was not what I was talking about. I have a lot of guides that just teach you how to play the game itself. And once you learn how to play the game, you can plan your seasons. For the first like 3 seasons, I followed guides. Then I learned how to do it myself because I followed guides and I learned from them. And then I started making my own guides. I did my plans. I now do content. I wasn't always doing content for Diablo 4. That started after Diablo 4 launched. I wasn't doing any content until after Diablo 4 launched. You should, Merlando. Netherstep was very fun to play with. I have to sell cases from Counter-Strike to be able to purchase the Ultimate Edition. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. It's normally it'll be on whatever time this is for you. Whatever, March 11th at 10 a.m. PST. And I think that there's a countdown somewhere. Oh yeah, right here. Just go to the Diablo page, go to Seasons, and then go to Season of Slaughter. And it'll tell you when it's going live. 5 days, 9 hours, 25 minutes, and 38 seconds. Yeah, the skill tree is it's pretty different and it's very fun. I need to go get some water. My throat is killing me. I've been talking all day. Here, while I go grab some water real fast, I'll just play the build that I'm gonna be running at the launch of Vessel of Hatred. Okay, we're back. We're gonna have some fun theory crafted builds too. It's gonna be pretty funny. Stranger, thanks for the follow. How's it going today? Oops, just hit the wrong button. This was one of the Warlock cosmetics. Adam, welcome in. 2 more followers on Twitch. We'll give away some points, everybody. One of the few cosmetics that they showed. I don't know, I'm pretty excited. Playtest was very fun. I can finally talk about it. Oh, and on Sunday morning, I'm going to have someone professionally set up my stream for me on OBS. And I should be able to stream to OBS or to YouTube on vertical and on horizontal. Yeah, this one's going to be a big one. Season starts on the 11th. Yeah, vertical definitely does need some work. Well, YouTube streaming just needs some work too. Did they make it so Afrix is going to be carried over to other seasons? No, nothing gets carried over to seasons. That would kind of defeat the purpose of seasons. Yeah, so I posted a couple videos if anybody wants to check them out. One is just generic gameplay. So this one right here, I have to change the... Wait, what happened to my thumbnails? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me change my thumbnails around because that's obviously wrong. But this one here is just gameplay. So you can see just the gameplay of 4 different builds. This one right here is an overview of all of them. And then this one right here is going to be my starter build. And then this kind of goes over my experience with it also. And D4 builds has a skill tree if anybody wants to mess around with it. I cannot believe I did that to my thumbnail. Change. Okay, now my thumbnail's changed. Yeah, apparently I lost it though. Only just started playing Diablo 4 since Diablo 3. Been shocked into what happens at the start of the season. Don't know what he uses a build. I posted a bunch of stuff Wild West about season changes and things like that. And then I also have, like on my website here, cliptis.com. It's free if you want to check it out, but I have a whole bunch of game guides. I have leveling guides, crafting guides, what to do after level 60, where to get gear, how to farm mythics, how to increase your damage, defensive videos, Paragon boards, farming, quality of life tips, the Dark Citadel, how to do the Infernal Hordes, endgame tips, what to do at the end of the season, settings to turn on and off. And I don't think, did I put it in the, I have strongest builds here, what's going to be coming in the new season, which I'm going to keep on updating all of this stuff here. Leveling guides here. Why is it loading like that? Okay. I have a complete leveling strategy, alongside just like a leveling guide, generic one for things. So, and not subbed. Oh, thank you for the sub, Josa. I appreciate it. Thanks for. We're getting pretty close to what? 63,000 people. Yep, yeah, we're at less than 100 people left to 63,000 people. It is, Frank. It is. I know. Road to 100,000. I'm excited about it. Yeah, no problem, Wild. You're going to need some lemon tonight today. Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, my throat's definitely a little sore. I think D4 will have a third expansion. Yes. When? No clue. Do you have Warlock D2 resurrected stuff? I didn't post any videos about it. No, I only got to play it up until Torment or Nightmare Act 2. I will be working out tomorrow morning on stream, and if anybody wants to come and join us, here's the workout right here. So 6 a.m. HST. Tomorrow is going to be lower body day. Doing some air squats, glute bridges, kettlebell deadlifts. And then we got double kettlebell deadlifts or dumbbells and kettlebell swings. We got a lot of stuff here. Yeah, me too. Some water and some sleep. All right. Yeah, we're doing good, Frank. We're doing good. We had the campfire chat earlier today, so I was online and pretty excited. So I've been talking all day long. I've been streaming in the mornings for a workout, so a lot of streaming today, a lot more than I normally do. I gotta change this around now. I gotta get rid of one of these. Wait, critical strike chance. Oh no, wait, this one is fine. How much does that go up to now, though? So okay, here we go. 8%. No, I did. I responded. I said, yes, a cure is water and sleep. So 8%, 8 times 5 is 40. So you can get 40% critical strike from one piece of gear. Crazy. So, it's so crazy. So if we go cooldown reduction again, cooldown reduction gives me 6 times 5 is 30. 30%. So if I do 1, 2, I'm at 60% cooldown reduction. The salt I would have to do. I can't do the other one. I don't do that. But the salt, yes. How much movement speed do you get now? You get movement speed 10%, 50% increase to movement speed. You find an early affix with movement speed on it, you're flying through this game. Crazy. So we're gonna change that to cooldown reduction. Like you can be crit capped and cooldown reduction capped at like level 40. It's gonna be a crazy season. Thanks for the lurk. I know, I know. I'm ready, Riz. Ready. Okay, whirlwind leveling guide here. I gotta update all of these now that the patch notes are out. Because we had 3 resource cost reductions, but we don't need that because it goes up to 50%. I just don't know if it stacks or not. Or if it, I don't know if it's added together or multiplied together. We'll find out when it all happens. Because if it's added together, then it's huge. If it's multiplied, it's still big, but just not quite as big. Cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction. Okay. Perfect. Let's go, blood. I love that. I love that. Glad you made it. We'll be back again tomorrow night doing it all again. Oh, wait, tomorrow morning. Sorry, not tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited. Okay, so that's good. No, you won't. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. You'll be good to go, don't worry. Actually, I think this one's fine. Yeah, this one's fine. Okay. Wait, your pocket sand? What does that mean? what, what is that? Oh, got it. Okay. Like how tiny is tiny? 5 foot? Okay. Yeah, that's tiny. Perfect for the necromancer that I need to throw at people at BlizzCon. Perfect. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. That's what I need. That's what I need. Yeah, that's perfect. Don't lose that. Done. I'm in. I'm in. All right, where is Pure Hammer of the Ancients here? Mythic variant will run. Okay. Miss Kitty, welcome in. How's it going today? Wait, Miss Kitty in, let's see, in 8 hours. What time is it where you are? Oh, okay. You're same time as Marlando, I guess. Okay, never mind. Never mind. All right, Matthew, have a good night. You turn into a demon after midnight? I'm trying to get people to come and do the workouts with me. But I do it in 8 hours, and it's gonna be 2 a.m. This season doesn't end. This, yeah, yeah, same time as you. Just realized I follow you on YouTube. Oh yeah, hey Gold, welcome over. Thanks for the follow. That was enough followers to give away some points. Yeah, I'm just trying to get people to come and do it with me. Do we know if the butcher scaled off of our gear? We don't know that. They did ask about ranged classes, and if you're playing a ranged class, you still become a melee class. But okay, I'll yell at you. That's fine. That's fine. I can do that. That I can do. I just want more people to come and do the barbarian fitness with me so that we can all get fitness. Is that because you're a necromancer? Got it. Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I'm very scary. Okay, sounds good, Miss Kitty. Don't kill yourself though. If you can't, that's okay. But I'll be there for anybody that wants to come and do it with me. Resources. Tomorrow is lower body day, so we're going to be doing some legs. Okay, I can do that. Yeah. So want to run in the background. Yeah, you can do that too. Can't wait for the lock. That's your main in WoW. Oh, very nice. Did um it's gonna be very fun. I'm telling you, it's incredibly fun to play. I got to play it, and I had to keep it a secret from everybody, but I can now talk about it. I watch for the dogs. Yeah. Did you look at this? Watch this. Of where was it? Was it? Yeah, right here. Oh, Jesus. Okay, all right. He was fine for the other ones. He also doesn't like when I do anything here. He just is such a little jerk face. You see Waffle here? Just like, what the heck? Ugh. Yeah, they're so funny. They're so funny. Yep. All right. You guys want to? Okay, I'll finish this up in a little bit. You want to do something fun? I want to put together the Warlock build that I was playing. Yeah, so many tree branches. Wait, actually, I don't think I had that one. Would you say finding all the alternate Lilith is before season 12? You can if it's on Eternal, if that's what you're looking at. But you don't have to do it on Seasonal Realm. It doesn't give you anything anymore. Okay, wait, let's go back here and look real quick. This is my gameplay footage from going to Blizzard. I actually got to go and play the Warlock. And this was the build that I'm going to be running probably at the launch of Season 13. And I'm going to try and recreate the skill tree if I can do it. I don't know what my first couple skills are. I didn't play the Witch Doctor, so I'm not sure. Okay, so